Welcome to PBI Radio, everyone. It's Chris Guns. My guest today, 2008 Olympic bronze medalist, current heavyweight phenom, knocking everybody out. The bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder, is my guest today. Deontay Wilder, thanks for being here today, my man. What's the good word?
Ain't that much, man. Just out here in California, man, living it up. Getting my man Ollie Harrison ready for his big fight against David Price, and that's what it is.
Yeah. When's the fight scheduled for?
Sometime in October. I think the 13th, 16th, one of the two. Not sure.
You got a location yet?
It's Ollie Harrison fighting David Price. They're gonna be fighting in London.
Mm-hmm.
This is not me. I'm just in camp with them, getting them ready, preparing them, getting them ready for it, sparring.
Is he training here in Cali?
Yeah. Actually, he live in Cali.
No, I didn't even know.
In the LA. Yeah, he moved over here years ago. Live in the LA area, so he brought me out here to get him ready. So that's what we doing.
Yeah, what do you think of him? I'm sure you think highly of him. You're working with him.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he still got a long way to go, but he's coming around, we just gonna see it from there, He got high spirit about it, He of course he's old. He's 40 years old and still in it. But if his action shows as big as his heart is, then I think he'll do very, very well.
Yeah. So tell me about yourself. You're from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Were you born there too?
Correct. Born and raised, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Baby, all day, every day, represent all the way to the top.
That's it. And what's it like coming up in Tuscaloosa? What was it like for you?
Tuscaloosa is a laid-back city, man. It's a bit around the University of Alabama, where the football team is. We're 14 national champions, 14 times around here. So, it's a big college town, but I done tweaked it a little bit. I done brought boxing in there. And I'm mixing it up. I got the commission back I got the commission in Alabama. That way we can have sanctioned professional fights now in the state of Alabama. So that's been going great. Been doing a lot of shows out there. A lot of people enjoying it and picking it up. And definitely over the years to come, I'm gonna make it into a fight town.
Yeah. And what was the Wilder household like growing up in it?
Everybody, my household growing up, everybody was athletic, from my father to my brother on down to my sister. So, we had a lot of, the Wilders are very competitive as well too. We're tough too, as you can tell. We don't settle for less, man. We either get it and go hard getting it. It's failure is not an option. Or it's been a Wilder. You know what I mean? So it's been my family great, man. I can't complain. Our family had their ups and downs, but we always come back around. You know what I mean? Family is family.
That's it. What kind of kid were you? Were you into sports growing up too?
Oh, always. Ever since the age of 5 years old. But my sports was always football and basketball, though. As I got on up in age, I started playing football, basketball, baseball, ran track. And if I had time for soccer, I would have did that as well too. But it always interfered in basketball, so I had to choose over. But I was always athletic. Always involved in sports and stuff like that. And it still is now. To this day, I'm all. Sports has been a big part of my life, and it always will.
So you grew up in a big football, basketball city like Tuscaloosa, and when did you start getting interested in boxing? And what made you? Who turned you even to thinking about actually getting into boxing?
I always been a fan of boxing. Growing up in Tuscaloosa, I never thought it was a gym there, or at that time, just really my mind wasn't focused on boxing. You know what I mean? So that really didn't have no reason to go try to find a gym and stuff like that because of all the other sports that I was involved in. And how I got into boxing after college, I had a little girl that was born with spinal bifida, so I dropped out of college to support her. I didn't know nothing about the disorder and what would be the proper way of taking care of child responsibility. So I felt like, that, school is no longer an option for me no more, that I had to get out and get a job, man. And that's basically what I did. Not only did I get a job, I went and got 2 jobs. A lot of people complain about just getting 1 job, but I'm being 19 years old, not giving up, going to find 2 jobs. Because I promised myself I would never struggle in life, no matter if I had to take on 3 jobs, But so after that, I had a friend in college. We used to always talk about what we want to do in our life and what are the things we was trying to do to get there. And I told him I should start boxing. I was ignorant to the sport then. I felt like every fighter that was on TV or stepped in the ring made a lot of money. And I didn't know that they had to build their way up, or, they could have been an undercard man or something like that. So I was like, hey, I'm good at fighting. Because I tell people all the time, I never looked for trouble, but trouble always found me. And I wasn't the type of guy that backed down from nobody, And just, he thought it was a great idea because of my street mentality. And he had a guy in one of his classes that tried to get him to come and box because the dude was a trainer at the local gym, and he was like, no, but I got somebody that will, though. And that's how we linked up. And make a long story short, I went to join the gym. I walked inside the gym, and I just knew it right there. I've never seen that and like it before, and I knew that was it for me, just for my calling right here. And the rest history, man.
Were you good at it right away, too?
What's that?
Did you feel like you were good at it right away?
Oh, most definitely. It was a lot of things. I know when you convert from street fighting and then come in here, it's almost as if you playing street ball, then you get on a high school team or a college team, become an organized basketball. You had to learn the different tweaks and stuff. From the street fighting stance, I'm a southpaw. But when I'm coming in the ring, I'm an orthodox. So, just the switching up, the different, getting in there. See, 1 minute felt like an hour. Just different things, man. Learning what's the meaning of just a simple jab, and how you should throw it, how you set your feet, all those good things, man. So I'm a fast learner. I'm a good listener as well too, And so I had a lot of good teaching, man, and I was very determined. I was dedicated to what I do. I always go 110% in whatever I do. So I was dedicated and determined to learn this sport, because I feel like this was my last opportunity to become somebody famous or do a sport that I think I would love to do and become a professional at doing it. So, God is good. That's all I can say is, you give God the glory, He give you the victory.
Yeah.
My 27 years, man, He's still blessed.
Yeah, and you got that late start. We see it more and more now. We saw it with Sergio Martinez. He's maybe the best middleweight in the world now. Do you feel like it's a benefit maybe because you don't have any wear and tear on your body like a lot of people do by the time they get to a title shot? You're still pretty fresh.
Yeah, I'm still pretty fresh. Heavyweights peak early, later on in their career anyway. So, it's not like the smaller weights when they peak early in their career. Heavyweights can, get up on in their 30s and peak. So I'm always in shape. I'm always feeling good, and I just see great things in my future.
So you didn't feel like any pressure as far as trying to cram as much experience as you can in such a short time to compete with guys like the Klitschko's and people who've been fighting their whole life? No pressure?
Nah, no pressure at all. No pressure at all. Like I said, I'm a fast learner, and really just when I got into boxing, my whole mentality was I was going to become a journeyman. I was just going to walk in the gym, learn the proper techniques of what it takes to box, and I was going to turn pro. But found out about the Olympics. It was crazy how everything just how good God was with me, and just everything just unfolded in front of my eyes because having that mentality, just going and press my luck and just turn into a journeyman and just see what I can do with just what I got. And that turned into 2012, learning about the Olympics and stuff like that. And you keep in mind that, in my gym, we haven't had nobody, before my time comes, we haven't had nobody to exceed past a national level, You alone get there, man.
Yeah.
2 years discussing about how to get to the Olympics and, in 07. you know, how to get to the Olympics and this and that. So, you know, throughout my whole amateur career, you know, I was always on top, always number one. Just beating those guys, beating, you know, all the guys that been boxing since they was kids and stuff. You know, I started at 21 years old. Yeah, but, you know, but I was super determined. I was dedicated, man. I had a lot of motivation around me, man. And, you know, had a lot of people that hated on me and said I would never do it because I'm too old, this and I never heard it all. Just like in the pro games, man. But I'm a type of person that I love to prove you wrong. And if you doubt me, I'm definitely going to prove you wrong. And when I do, I ain't going to have to boast about it. I ain't going to say nothing. I'm just going to hold my prized possession up in the air, tip my head to the side, and let it speak for it. My actions speak for itself. You know? So, over all that, became the only one to medal in the 2008 Olympic Games, you know, and still the lonesome medalist. So, you know, man, I train hard for to be the best, you know? Yeah. And I don't settle for nothing less, man, but to be the best.
It's really incredible because you got involved in boxing in October '05 and you just came out of nowhere.
Came out of nowhere, man.
Just 14 fights going into the National Gold Gloves and you upset and you win the whole thing. You upset and you win the gold. Well, how'd that feel to have just 14 fights and you're not favored going in and you come home with the Gold Gloves, National Gold Gloves? How's that feel?
I mean, it felt great, man. Just winning my first tournament. Not only just the Golden Gloves, because I'm a two-time Golden Glove champion, and going from Golden Gloves and moving all the way up to a national level where it's bigger competition. There's a lot of more fighters in your weight division all over the world, you know, and you know, winning my very first major national tournament, man, was basically my first highlight of my amateur career. Because I beat a lot of great guys. My first guy that everybody knew, you know, worldwide was Isaiah Thomas. He's from Detroit. Yeah. And, I didn't know him because I wasn't in boxing. I didn't know half the guys there, but most of these guys been fighting since they was kids. Man, you guy coming from 21, don't know nothing, you know, just come around. When I beat him, man, you can tell the vibe in the whole building just changed. Everybody was shocked. It was an upset. Like, God, this guy just beat, you know, just knocked the guy that everybody put was the favorite to win the whole tournament. Yeah. So I went in the ring and I took his heart, you know, because he didn't want it more than I did, you know. And I always tell people, well, you ain't fought Deontay. Well, I don't care who he done fought in the world. He could have been all over, but he haven't fought me yet. So going on beat him, I just started beat him. Then I beat this kid, David Thomas, out of New York Metro or whatever, and the rest, and won the whole thing. And from that point on, I was just number one all the way through. USA boxing, national, you know, all that stuff. So I became the number one guy for the United States.
Did you ever fight a southpaw before you fought Isaiah Thomas? Or did it trouble you at all, being in there with a southpaw?
Repeat that again?
Did you have any trouble fighting Isaiah Thomas because he was a southpaw? Did you ever have any?
Not at all. Not at all. I didn't have trouble with him at all because I seen it in his eyes that I took everything he had from him. Yeah. I took his heart. I took his heart from him. So when I did that, I seen his eye. He didn't want to fight no more. And then he was like, man, who is this kid? He you know, we talked. He said I was very strong, and he could see that I was very determined to win this. He said I wasn't backing down like most of the other fighters because they knew him. And it's just a mental thing. I mean, if you know a guy, you know what all the accomplishments he have done, and even if a guy say, oh, he's strong or he knocks everybody out, man, you know, it depends on what type of person you are. That'll get into your head mentally. Now, when you go in to fight this guy, you thinking about all the great things that people said about him, and not really just think about and have a confidence in yourself and just going to do it. So by me not knowing him or not really knowing who this guy is and all this, silver glove champion, golden glove champion, this, man, I really didn't care. You know, like I said, my mentality was he ain't fought me. You know, I don't care how strong this and this. So I was just determined. I was more determined than he was. And I think he was more of a laid back. He came off laid back first because I'm a kid that came out of nowhere. So I don't really know too much. You know, and just coming in, he is big time champion. This is, and so he kind of slacked off a little bit until I started really just putting blows to him. And that's when, you know, when he felt my first punch, when he felt the first power, I always had power, always. when he felt my first bout, he knew it was real and he could never bounce back. I just took it from him.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna take these belts from these Klitschko's.
Yeah, you know. Do you respect the Klitschko's? What did you think of people like Vitaly Klitschko and Vladimir Klitschko and all the Eastern European people? What do you think of them?
I mean, you can't. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, they slow, they robotic." I mean, all those different things. But you can't. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't do nothing but respect them because they've been holding down the division for almost damn decade now. Yeah. So I mean, no matter what people say, because many people say many things about you, but if you're holding it down and if you being successful and it's working for you, then it's working for you. I mean, you can't say nothing bad about them. They didn't took over the division, and I feel I got the entity, and the skill to bring them down. At least when I get them, they can rest in peace and say, well, we put the belts in the hands of a good man, and knowing that he gonna carry on our legacy.
Yeah.
So I feel most of these guys that get in there fight them, they haven't had nobody with the balls and nerves to just really get into them. Everybody that get in the ring with them, they always hold back. They fight like as if they the champions.
Yeah.
When you fighting against a champion, you gotta go get it. Ain't nobody finna give it to you. If it go to the scorecard, and you getting defeated every round, it ain't gonna get. You gotta go get it, man. That's just how I feel. You gotta go get. Most of these guys fight for big paydays, and this gonna be the biggest of my career, whatever, and just forget about just what was important. The principle of just getting the belts. Man, I want the belts. I know the little payday that'll become fighting for the title. I understand that, but the money comes when you're the champ.
Mm-hmm.
You have the belts. That's when that bread comes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. I mean, they just go in there acting like they already the champs. And, he was bigger than what he seemed, or they on steroids or this and that. I'm like, forget that junk.
Yeah. Yeah. And how did you feel when you qualified for the Olympics?
Oh, it was great. It was a great feeling. I just feel like, my hard work hasn't went in vain. Because I'm the type of guy that have a small circle. I don't have too many people around me. I don't trust too many people, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm around just life experience. And I just feel like, I just feel like everything I've done, work hard for, all the things I've been through, so working, and still going to the gym. Sometimes I work 10, 12-hour shifts and hours, and just still go to the gym because I was truck driving for Budweiser, and still, man, I'll be tired as all get out. But then when I get to the gym, it's like a whole nother beast just open up like I ain't did nothing all day. I just train hard as I can, and to just qualify for the team, man, it summed it up for me. It just let me know that if you put all you got into something, that your hard work won't go in vain. Sometimes it take longer. The other time, but God said it may not come when you want it, but it's on time. Everybody got their due season, and everything is on time. Us being humans, we lose patience. We lose patience all the time. That's a big factor of patience. We lose it all the time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people can be right at the peak of being successful, but they give up. They lose patience. They forget it, and you're right there at the tip of the door.
Yeah.
And I've always been a patient person. Even just like in my professional career, I've said many times that I'm ready for whoever. I'm ready for the world. I'm ready to carry it. I'm ready to fight for this belt. But my time is coming, and it's came. It's my time now. So but I had to wait. It's been 7 years now. I had to, from amateur all the way up to pro.
Yeah.
Everybody get their due season, and it's my time now.
I hear it in your voice. You believe it. And what's it like? What's it like coming from Tuscaloosa and you get involved in boxing, and suddenly you're going all over the world? You see Russia. You see all these places that you would have never seen if you didn't get into boxing. What's that like to just be in Russia suddenly and competing with those kind of guys? What was Russia like for you?
I feel like it don't matter where you're from. I mean, just going to another culture, a different country itself, no matter where you're from south or the north, east or west, just going to another country, period, it's an eye-opening because you're so laid back in your country. You know what I mean? You laid back and you see how everything develops in your country. And then you go to another country, let's say a third world country. You go to that country and you see how they living, and it's nothing compared to how you living. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
The only thing you can believe sometimes when you go places, or if you get an opportunity, the only thing you can believe is what you hear or what you read.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's a whole other eye opening when you actually is in it. When you're seeing it for your own eyes, and it's like, a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people dislike America because they say we're lazy. We don't know what it is to work hard,
mm-hmm.
and we're spoiled. And I took what they said, and I brought it back home, and I said, let me see, let me evaluate this right here. And sadly to say, but they right.
Yeah.
We're so laid back and we're so comfortable because we got so many things. I mean, it's America. You know what I mean? One of the richest countries. We so laid back and we got everything made. If we're born poor here, over time, and if we work hard and don't give up, eventually we can come up
mm-hmm.
and be as rich as we want. But in other countries, if you're born poor, you're poor for life. There ain't no coming up. It ain't no programs. It ain't no welfare. It ain't no food stamps. Yeah, I mean, there ain't none of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We take a lot of stuff for granted. So it really, just get to, at the same time, it was exciting for me to get to see all the countries I have seen. It was a blessing on my behalf, but it also opened my eyes up. I always been a simple guy. I always been a humble guy, but I think that really humbled me down even more to really just appreciate every single little thing that I have, because I know somebody in the world, just the little things that I have, somebody would either have lesser than what that is, half of what that is,
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't understand, man. No matter where you live in or your circumstances or your situation, you're blessed beyond all belief because somebody ain't got that, and they kill you for that,
Yeah.
So, man, it was great, man.
When you got to Beijing and you saw all the people there for the Olympics, what did you think? How taken away were you? How shocking was it that you actually made it there? And what was it like for you to see all the festivities of the Olympics?
Say it one more time.
What was it like to see the festivities in the Olympics has? To be a part of
it
that?
was great, man. Just overall, I think China did a great job with preparing the Olympics and all the different things, man. That's Chinese people all the time. They're hardworking people. They work together. There's so many of them, though, but they work together, to accomplish something. And it was great. The village was great. Just to meet all the other athletes, professional wise.
Mm-hmm.
It was great, man. I'm not the type of person that gets starstruck, though. I never, all the places I've been and all the people I've met, I'm not a starstruck person. I just feel like, people are human,
Mm-hmm.
Some people, if God came down, they wouldn't be that struck. And they see Michael Jackson, they crying, and or just to touch the man's feet, they'll cry.
Mm-hmm.
Bless his soul. But it was great just to be in the presence of so many athletes, worldwide, so many different athletes all over the country. I just never thought in all my life that I'd get an opportunity to go on an adventure as I did, because starting boxing and going through the Olympics and making it, man, it's definitely an adventure for me. And I still to this day, man, sit back and think about all the things I've been through and all the stuff I had to sacrifice, to get where I am, even in today, to get where I am. And like, man, wow. All I can say is wow. Can't nobody take that from me. I'm an Olympian. I'm the only medalist. No matter what people say, they can't take that from me, because millions of people have tried to make the Olympics, but only hundreds have made it.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those hundreds. They can say I've been to the Olympics and I medaled with the least amount of experience in the whole tournament.
Yeah.
And I'm from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. How you like that?
Isn't that something? Isn't that something?
You know what I mean?
How did you feel about taking home a bronze? Were you disappointed that you didn't get a little further, or were you satisfied with that?
I'm always looking at a situation. I'm always trying to be optimistic about a situation. Of course, I train to bring home the gold medal. But sometimes you get in a situation where you can't control. And in that situation, I looked at it. I had a bittersweet moment. My sweet moment is, I went through everything, all the obstacles, all the critics, saying that I wouldn't be able to do this or do that. I'm not gonna medal, because I'm too young, I'm too green. I was too green. I started too late, and to see myself the only one on the podium out of all these great fighters we had on our team. All of them started when they was young, been in the gym for years. We had a two-time Olympian, all of them. I was the guy from Tuscaloosa out of nowhere. Someone, that was a sweet moment for me just to accomplish, that, I came empty-handed and left with some hard work. I didn't leave as I came, but my bitter moment was that I believe in hard work. I believe in the God giving it all, going and because I feel if you give your all, you get hard work, that you will be rewarded with something. That my bitter moment was that I was on that podium by myself. I'm not the type of person that like to shine in the spotlight by myself. If I have seen that you've been a hard worker, just as hard working as I felt like, man, he deserved to have something. A lot of all my guys went home empty-handed, and it kind of saddens me. But life goes on, at that point, there might not been that point in time. Something else, that don't mean you give up, because God may have bigger plans for you later on in your other future, So, but it was a great feeling, man. Just be up on that podium, even though I got a bronze, man, and now that chapter has came and gone, and now I'm a professional, and looking forward to being the heavyweight champion of the world now.
Did you feel like did you see the politics being played out in amateur boxing? Because a lot of people
most definitely, man. It's sickening me. It really sickened me. It really, it just made me feel so much different about the Olympics, man. It's just how so much go on that people don't really know, One of our guys, one of our referees, you got mafias, and you got politics, you got people that don't even like your country, so they got to keep in mind, you got that point system. It's easy to be tampered with that point system. It's easy to be cheated, and by me being a younger guy at the time, I did the point system thing before, and I done made many mistakes on it. And how can you correct the mistake if you got red and blue, and blue hit red, but you hit red for blue points? How do you correct it? There's no correcting. So what they do, they just let it go on, and what guy should have won really lost. And then what about the smaller guys that got so much speed with their hands and hitting them, and they can't punch out there. They had these older guys. Man, so much go on. Then one of our guys got paid by the Russian mafia, to cheat and stuff like that. Man, so much stuff go on, man. It really sickened me. I'm just glad I went through what I did and medaled, and now I'm in a professional level, man. So.
Did you watch the Olympics at all this year?
I didn't get an opportunity. I caught one fight, I think, but it was another country. And every time I tried to come on, man, I don't know if my timing was off or what. So they get an opportunity to see it.
What do you think we need to do to make us more competitive with the rest of the world in the amateurs? What do you think we could do?
It's so much. It's a list. First of all, I think the Reno Olympics, I think it's gonna be great. They're changing it back to the 10 the scoring, the paper scoring, 2-point system thing. I think that's because when they had it like that years ago, Americans were dominant because we like the bang. We like to be the dominant. We like to bang, go in there and bang, and not to worry about no point system, or I hit you in the head, or whether I hit you in the body and get a point. They going back to it, and I heard they said they were going to take the helmets off. I don't know how true that part is, but as far as that, taking the point system off, I think that's a start. I do feel, just experiencing, I do feel that they should allow all the fighters, personal trainers, to come in. Because just think about it, you've been with this trainer all your career. You know, and now you go to a elite level. Now you have to leave your trainer to get totally comfortable and used to a whole other trainer that may have a whole different perspective on how you throw a jab or how you throw the right hand, and now you gotta get comfortable with him. And then when it all boils down to it, you actually get to the Olympics and your personal trainer come with you, and he's in the crowd, but you got the regular guy in there. You're gonna hear his voice before you hear his because you're used to his personal trainer voice. You know what I mean? So I feel that little stuff like that, just bring the personal trainer in. You know, just when you go to duels, bring the personal trainer with them because they already got a bond. They already got a relationship built. So keep it that way. I think that'll help out. You know, I think bringing other coaches from around the world to come in, you know, to show them different things of what their techniques they use, and you know, even when you have duels against other countries, but maybe bring a Cuban coach and a Russian coach in, you know, to show them different little things of what made them successful. You know what I mean? Everybody can learn from everybody, I feel. You know, and come in like that, and there's a lot of other stuff, man. I feel, you know, some of the guys that have been there before, you know, to give back. You know, come and give back, show them a couple of things. You know, that's why I respected Andre Ward and Berto. I think Berto came. They came back, and during my time, they came back and spoke with us and told us how they did it, and you know, man, what they were experienced like, and what motivated them, and what, you know, if they didn't, what could knock you off your focus if you don't do the right things, this and that meant a lot. And you know, because I listened to those guys because they've been there before. They went through the same thing that we was about to experience and go through. That was just from then Andre, you know, sparred with all of us or whatever. You know, that was big though. You know what I mean? Just the simple things. You don't have to give money. You know what I mean? Just give your time. People always think about, I gotta give them my money or this, because a lot of people tight with their money, but they won't give back to a good cause. But they willing to go in the club and make it rain and then go pop all these bottles and see how many cars you got, but you don't want to give back to a good cause. You know what I mean? There's a lot we can correct.
I think someone should put you in charge, Deontay. You made your pro debut on the undercard of Jeff Lacey and Jermaine Taylor fight. Was there any extra pressure on you fighting on such a big card?
One more thing, I want Andrew Maynard. You know, I want to give him credibility as well too. Going back to the Olympics, man, Andrew Maynard was always there too as well. I've grown to have a great relationship with him. He was, you know, I give credit to him as well because he was always there. He always motivated me. He was always in action with us as well too. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I got to give him credit, man. He definitely deserves it as well too. He's a symbol of what others should be doing because he was a gold medalist. Always giving his time back. So I like to get it out to him. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Andrew Maynard deserves some credit. I'm glad you did. And you made your pro debut on the Jeff Lacey Jermaine Taylor fight. Was that any added pressure for you to perform on a card that big?
No, not at all, man. You know, Eddie Ellis didn't think I was going to do well in the Olympics. He didn't. I don't think he liked Southern fighters, you know. And he felt as, you know, I was too green or whatever. He was one of the guys that doubted me all the way through until I became the last one or whatever. And man, it was crazy. But I was in front of millions of people that I wouldn't know how to handle it. But I'm like, the Olympics prepared me for that. But even though I'm from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, man, the bigger the crowd is, the better it is for me. I love a crowd, you know, and to be up on that card, man, made it even better, you know. Yeah. I love the crowd. There was no pressure for me. The only, who was that? Somebody who was in voter registration. The voter registration? Nah, but the only thing that really freaked me out about the card is that my opponent. You know, this is my baby. We've been training for different weight, a different height, and 3 days prior to my 3 days prior to that.
Yes, I do. I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you. 3 days prior to the fight, what happened?
Okay, yeah.
So 3 days prior to the fight, what happened?
They switched up my opponent.
No.
And I was like, wow, y'all, you know, because I've been training for this one particular guy, and all of a sudden it's a big switch up. So my fighter went from an orthodox fighter to a southpaw fighter, a whole different weight. This guy had metal in his face, and I was like, what is this? This is a weird guy, or whatever. But you know, it just that's only really just knocked me out because now I got I'm going in the ring, you know, like dang, I don't know nothing about this guy. You know, so I'm just going, this is my pro debut, and nobody wanted to lose on their pro debut. But, you know, I was confident in myself, and I wasn't worried about the crowd. I wasn't worried about them because when I'm in the ring, you know, all that zones out. You know, all that zones out for me, and I just go do my thing, and I end up, you know, knocking them out, and that was just the start with all my knockouts, man.
Yeah.
I love a crowd, though. I could have been on a better card, man. I loved it.
Yeah, you seem like a people person. Do you remember the guy's name? Remember the guy's name you fought?
Ethan Cox.
That's it. And first round knockout.
Second round.
Was it the second?
Yeah, it was second. Because I remember saying the first round, I'm just going to fill them out because most of the time I just feel you out in the first round just to see what you're going to react to if I do certain things. Then the second round, that's when it starts to get real. It started to come alive and everything. I kind of figure out a little bit. Then second round from up, it starts to go.
How'd you feel getting that first win as a pro and fighting with the no headgear and the smaller gloves? What did it feel like?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved the no headgear, smaller gloves. I loved it. I love everything about being a pro. You know, pro is more. You can be more flashy. You know, you can own your craft. That's a pro. You know, amateurs is all about being safe and safety and, you know, having an 8 count. You know, if you're finna get ready to knock a guy out, the ref will come and tackle. I've been tackled by the refs many times to give a man an 8 count. I'm like, let him fall, you know. In the professional level, you know, the object is to knock him out. It ain't no rushing over unless he badly hurt, you know. So I loved it. I love the smaller gloves and the headgear. You can see better without the headgear. You know, and it was great, man. My career has been great, man. I couldn't ask for a better team. And, you know, I couldn't ask for a better time to come on, you know. A lot of people have been losing patience, you know, about, we need, you know, everybody want American heavyweight. Big deal. And a lot of people don't want to wait. You know, people want, you know, you're moving too slow, you this and that. Everybody is ready, you know. But, you know, you just can't, it takes time. But then I'll be like, I'm not going to the fight just to fight. I'm going to fight to win the fight, you know, and I want to be champ for a long time. So I don't want to just go and say, I fought and end up losing. And then, you know, now people still having something to say. You know, people don't always have something to say whether you're the champ or you're not, you know. It's just part of life. And we're doing it our way.
That's it. And did you make it back to your seat to watch the main event that night?
Oh, yeah. Some Jermaine Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got an opportunity to speak to those guys as well, too. Got an opportunity to speak in the press conference, to speak to those guys as well, too. And I got an opportunity to see them fight.
And you KO Shannon Gray with a jab to the body, and you beat the obese Richard Green. And then in your fourth fight, you make your ESPN debut against a guy named Charlie Brown. Your TV debut, actually, right? Your national television debut. Any added nerves to see Teddy Atlas watching you and to think of the amount of people watching you from home?
What's that?
Did you feel pressured by?
Oh no! I never feel pressure. You know, I'm the type of person that I don't crack under pressure. You know, all the times I always think if I was in a situation and let's say we was on a plane and the plane going down, I'm the type of person that would be super calm. I'm always thinking about what would I do if this plane go down or if this train wreck or something like that. I'm trying to add out my options I'm a type of person. I don't crack under pressure. No matter what situation I'm in, I'm always calm because I feel like if you crack under pressure, you're gonna cloud your brain. And when you cloud your brain, you don't have a source to think no more. You're just doing it now. It's just off respond of what comes natural, just actions without thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get in a situation like that, I relax. Main thing, because I done did the hard part. That's in the gym. Working out in the gym, man, it's a beast. So I feel like it's a treat to go out there to perform to millions and millions of people. It's definitely a treat for me to do that. So, when the bigger the crowd is, the better for me. Because I love to entertain. I'm like Roy Jones, man. I love a crowd. I love to entertain. And I like to give the people what they want. They come to pay to see knockouts, and I want to deliver that for them. So it'll never be where it feel like too much pressure for me, no matter who I'm fighting. I'll never feel like it's too much pressure for me. In the end of the day, I feel like I was made to do this. I was born to be a leader.
Yeah, mentally strong. And you're 6'7", and you turned pro. I think you weighed like 207. You're thin.
Yeah.
By the time you fought Charlie Brown, though, in your fifth fight, you're up to 220. So you started to fill out. Do you have trouble keeping weight on?
I think when I fought Charlie Brown, I was around about the 215 era, somewhere right now. And as of today, I'm 230.
No, so you walk around at 230?
Walking around at 230.
And do you have trouble keeping weight on? Chris Bird always had trouble keeping weight on.
Right. Yeah, the strange thing happens. My average weight to be from 215 to 218. And I always go up and down. Like, I always had problems keeping weight on because I work out so hard in the gym. Like, I burns it all. I got a high metabolism as well, too, so I'm always burning out. And I guess it just comes with age, man. They say the older you get, your stuff starts sticking on you and staying. And it was just all of a sudden, like, the weight I came from 215, 218, 222, then 222, 227, then to 230. It just starts sticking on. I'm like, wow. I work out hard as I always do. And I'm like, well, I got a birthday coming up. I'm getting older, so I'm like, it got to be what it is.
Yeah. Charlie Brown said that he never got hit so hard before. When did you realize how hard you did hit?
I still don't know the measurement of my power, man. I done had a lot of majority of my opponents have said that they never been hit that hard when I hit them. I have a lot of them to say that. And, I still don't know the measurement of my power. I don't try to go knock a guy out. I just let my hands go. I just use my skills and try to use perfect. I try to be perfect, like, far as technique-wise. I try to use the perfect technique and just going when I hit these guys, man. It's like wow, and I know my opponent is gone when I feel the structure of the bones in my gloves. When I feel that, I know it's over with. I know it's a night.
Yeah.
And so.
And did you have the opportunity to talk to Teddy Atlas, and did he say how impressive he was with you? How impressed?
Yeah. Well, I did after the Olympics. I got an opportunity to talk to those guys. I was actually on one of their shows. It was filming in I think we was at the Mohegan Sun Casino Resort, and they flew me out there. I was on the show then, and we were just talking about different things in the Olympics and why I felt, the same question. That's why I felt that, we did so terribly. And he told me a couple of things though, but
Yeah. And after a few more wins, all by knockout, of course, you're 10-0 fighting a 400-pound guy, Dustin Nichols, and you stop him in the second round on a cut. Why were you being moved along the way you wanted to be, or would you rather have got moved along a little faster? Because you're so much more talented than a Dustin Nichols who weighs 400 pounds. What can you learn from a guy like that?
But a lot of shows just come off. A lot of shows just come off of just short notice. Hey, we need a fighter. This is they call you up. You're like, sure. I mean, it ain't gonna. No matter who it is, you really you know, especially when you're coming up, you're not gonna really turn down no fight. You know, especially if they include the money in, you still gotta feed your family.
That's right.
I mean, so no matter who it is, you're like, yo, my daughter's gotta eat. I mean, let's go. I'm ready. They ready. They said they want to fight. He's talking good. He acting like he's ready to fight. He's on a promotion. Hey, let's do it. Roy, you know, then Roy Jones was there as well too. Was one a good friend of mine. You know, he was there. You know, like, hey, let's do it. No matter who they is, let's get it. We gotta eat. Gotta pay bills. So you know, but we always had a plan with my career of what we wanted to do. You know, with my career. You know what I mean? And no matter what nobody said, no matter how many tried to rush me, at times I feel like, yo, let's hit the gas, let's go, you know. Whatever. But at the end of the day, you know, everybody came together, and we stuck with the game plan. You know, I feel like it was team. Everybody in all, if everybody's on the same note, then you know, everything gonna add out in the end. You know, and with the career now, man, everything's adding out in the end. We're preparing for one of the biggest fights of my career. Maybe pretty soon, and furthermore from on now. You know, so in the end, people will see. You know, we just took it slow to progress and build up more confidence, more looks and stuff in the ring from different styles and stuff like that. And people gonna see why we took the steps that we did. You know. Many other boxers has did the same thing in their career. You know, a lot of people said things about their career, but in the end they became champions over the years and worldwide known. You know.
Yeah, people criticized Andre Ward for the same type of stuff. Now look at him. You know.
Exactly.
You're a lucky guy.
Look at him now.
Yeah, look at him now. Top of the world.
On top of the world. So. Yeah. You know, that just come with it. I just call those haters, man. You know, people that don't. So most people think they the biggest boxing analysts ever, and never been in the gym before, or never been in the ring before, or never took a hit. You know what I mean? Just everybody want to go off of what they think, or you should have did this, or you should do this. You know, but they don't really know what it really takes.
No.
It take more than just saying, oh, he should have did this, or you need to go. It's easier said than done, you know. So and no matter what I have heard, whether good or bad, you know, we sticking with the game plan. You know, we ain't in no rush. We ain't never been. As you can see, we ain't been in no rush. I wanted to develop in the fight I wanted to be. So when it's time for that big fight, we ready.
Yeah.
You know,
there's always going to be haters there. I don't care how far you get, anyway. So. You got to get used to haters, and you're a lucky guy though to be able to have a conversation with Roy Jones. What's Roy Jones talk about to you when you guys have a conversation?
And you know, Roy the team been fighting in many fights, and when I fought in Mexico, he was there, and I really sparked his eye when I fought in Mexico. I fought one of their guys over in Mexico and Cancun, and the things that I was able to do. With my jab game, you know, keep in mind when I first started out in my career, I was a wild guy. You know, I was wild. I was more on trying to entertain the crowd and different things, and you know, maybe even tried to knock a couple guys out, just trying to, and going there being wild. But the Deontay today is a much calmer fighter. Yeah. I'm more laid back, calmer fighting, picking my shots and stuff like that. And when Roy seen me in Cancun, he was like, wow. You know, he told me I got everything it takes to become champion. And it was big coming from Roy, you know. Yeah. I did my jab. He loved the power. Everybody loved the power. I fought again. He saw me again in Kentucky when I fought David Long. When I knocked him out, I hit him so hard that his legs started shaking, and his mom thought he was dead, so she started crying. So, then his leg was shaking, and it just went stiff, and my coach looked over to Roy, and he seen Roy. He said he seen Roy malform and said, "Wow," you know. Yeah. And you know, Roy's a good guy, man. He been to Tuscaloosa a couple of times, and when he come, we chop it up. But you know, just getting, you know, just getting talk from any champion. Because I didn't, Lennox Lewis is a good friend as well too, and just to chop it up with those guys that have been there to where I want to go, and to hear them to give advice and to get the good and the bad, man. It's a good feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. And your fights were scheduled for 6 rounds at that time. None of them went that long, really. You fought Harold Sconiers, and you put him down 4 times, but you got dropped yourself, didn't you? Take me back to that one. What'd you think of that knockdown? Was it a real knockdown?
It wasn't a real. I mean, a lot of people, they even said, some people, try to say that, like different haters try to say that the Dustin Nichols guy, when I slipped, they say he dropped me. But, you can't argue with the world. You can't argue with the world. And with the Sconier fight, I got hit in the back of the neck. I definitely got hit in the back of the neck because I lowered my head down to get hit in the back of the neck. It was a crazy feeling because, I was doing my thing. I could hit them anytime I want. I was seeing all the shots. I was hitting them anytime I want. And the crazy thing happened to me. I got on the ropes, and I got so comfortable that I started to daydream. And I started to daydream while I was in an actual fight. And then when it was crazy, man. And when I finally woke up and snapped back to the fight, I see him coming with an overhand right. And when he did that, my first reaction was to lean forward. But when I did that, he hit me in the back of the neck, and I went down. It was almost like a blackout kind of thing because I got hit. It got hit pretty hard. And to clarify it up, I even had a knot in the back of my neck. So that was the only part of my body that was hurting.
Wow.
And so it wasn't like he punched me in the face or the chin and I went down. But it is what it is. I did more damage to him than he did to me because I think at the end of the night he had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So I did more damage. But you can't, most people will say so many things and say what's not true, and that be the ones that ain't seen the fight or don't know nothing about the fight, just going on what they hear and they just take it from there.
Yeah.
But they do nothing about it.
Would you? That was the first time you went 4 rounds. That's the furthest you went. First time you did go 4 rounds. How'd you feel when it was over?
I felt good. I feel like it was a great performance. A lot of people say it was the best fight of the night. Mm-hmm. And when you get 2 heavyweights and you drop a man so many times and he come back and he drop you, it's going to be the best fight of the night because it's entertainment. I feel like it was entertainment and the people came and got what they paid for, and I was happy with that.
Yeah.
Because I knew in a matter of time I was gonna knock him out because I was, hitting him clean with my jab, clean. I was every time I hit him with the right hand, he'll fall. So, as they see, I got right back up after my corner maybe, got a little crazy because they never seen that or whatever, got crazy. But I was calm though. I was calm. I came back out the next round and still did my thing. That's how calm I was. For a fighter that has never experienced that, whatever, may have would have panicked a little bit, like, I'm on the campus or this and that. But like I said, I never cracked under pressure. Mm-hmm. That's not me. I'm always gonna be calm at all times, and I was just okay. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
And got back up and a matter of seconds knocked him down and end the fight. So.
Mm-hmm. Next fight, you fought Dan Sheehan. You knocked him out in the first, and then you make your hometown debut. Matter of fact, your fight with DeAndre Abram was the first boxing match ever sanctioned in Alabama, right? That's big.
Yeah, that was huge, man. I had a sold out crowd too as well, man. We could not fit anymore. The limit was we fought at a college, a community college, which can hold maybe 2,500. We ended up packing 3,000 people up in there. Wow. And that was we kind of did something illegal because the fire marshal came out and told us before what we could do. But the guy that was doing the door, he was letting them come in because the line was still long outside and he just wanted people to get an opportunity to witness the first history and just the beginning of what's going to happen to the state of Alabama when it's dealing with boxing. Man, that was most exciting. Man, my heart was filled with joy to see so many people there to support me, man. It looked like a pack pack of meat in a bag, man. It was so many people packed. And the great thing about it, though, you had so many classes in it. You had your middle class, you had your low class, you had your high class, you know, rich, poor, and whether, you know what I mean, you had everybody all together, black and white, mixed, Mexicans, you know what I mean, you had everybody, all in there together, and everybody was together, man, you know, and they was there for a purpose and a reason to have fun and enjoy their champion, their hometown champion, and that's me, Deontay Wilder, and it was, you know, it was a memorable moment that will last on just the start of what we had did for the state of Alabama. And now, you know, I have 4 shows there, which the one being the biggest was at the Alpha Theater, which everybody loved, you know, because out of that, you know, we had that tragic tornado to come through and nearly wiped our whole city out.
Yeah,
and I wanted to put on a fight, you know, to really just get the people's minds off of the tornadoes. And some of the people have lost family, some been, you know, lost their homes, they have no clothes on them, and I didn't know how that turnout was going to be, man. That was a stage making see about 6,500 or more.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, man, I know a lot of people ain't got money or nothing like that, but I just really want them to come out and just at least get their mind off of everything that's been going on for these 2 months, at least for that one night.
Yeah,
and like I said, and like I always say, man, God's good, because He not only did the people show up, man, but they showed up, they had fun, and it's still a memorable moment to this day. Every time people say, when you gonna fight at the outfit? Everybody, you know, people ain't seen each other in a long time, and you know, they just come together. Everybody's minds off the tornado, man. Everybody just enjoying and loving themselves, man. And I can't ask, but I think I put like 45 people in there. So that was great coming from, you know, people didn't really have nothing, or didn't have a lack of money, but they still came out. And I gave away a dozen tickets as well too, just to get back to the community. I'm always involved in the community. I helped out at the Salvation. At the one of the locations where it was in a bad area to give out water and shelter and food and stuff like that. So I'm always involved with my community. Hey, that's why they love me. So
you're lifting the spirits of your people and bringing them together. It happened at a perfect time, I guess. And
that's right.
What are race relations like in Tuscaloosa? When I think of Alabama, when I think of it, I don't think of it as being good. Is it good?
Yeah, most people think that. Like I said, going to different countries, the only thing, if you haven't been there, the only thing you go by is off of books and what have times before now have been. You know, a lot of, you know, even when I had my trainer Mark Breland, one of my trainer Mark Breland called, you know, he didn't know what this, he felt like it was still slavery and stuff like that or whatever. And you know, keep in mind, it's, you know, there's always gonna be racism everywhere you go. No matter where you go, it's always racism. It's good. Back home's good, man. It's not all what people think. I love my city. I love everything that's surrounding the state of Alabama.
Yeah.
So it's a great place. It's a great place to raise your kids. It's a great environment. It's good people. You know, nice Southern hospitality people, man, that'll look out for you. You know, but you're always gonna find the idiots. No matter where you go, you're gonna find people that be, you know, racist everywhere you go.
Yep.
That's just part of life. You know what I mean? But most part, man, it ain't like that. It ain't like that at all.
I hope you got a key to the city. You got a key to the city, Deontay?
I got 2 keys to the city.
Okay,
I got 2 keys to the city. I got 2 days named after me in the state of Alabama.
Wow.
And it counts on, man. They love me there.
Yeah, I guess so. I never knew they never had a fight there. That's amazing, man. And what's that feel like to overturn a rule? Like you tore down that wall. How many fans?
I'm like, man, I feel like Denzel Washington training that King Kong he got now. You know what I mean? I felt, you know, I felt, man, I'm just, like I said, I'm just blessed, man.
Yeah.
I felt, man, that was an overwhelming feeling to out of all these years, we never had our own commission. For me, man, young black man, to do all the things I've done and because I already got my accomplishment from gaining my medal. You know, so if anything else hasn't been involved around me, I was happy.
Yeah.
But to see my work hasn't went in vain in amateur boxing, and to go on to come home and to get keys to the city, you know what I mean? Months named Deontay Wilder days, you know, and stuff like that. They was talking about a street one point in time, named, you know, and then to have one of the biggest things happen. You know, get our very own boxing commission in the state of Alabama, man. It was like, wow. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And then August the 4th, we haven't had a national televised sanctioned bout for boxing in the state of Alabama for over 30 years, and I broke that August the 4th.
Yeah, you're spoiling my future questions.
It was crazy, man.
It's amazing.
It's just the beginning. I tell people all the time, this is just the beginning. If you're enjoying this, or you're liking this, or you think I'm a great fighter, so this is just the beginning. You know, I don't want to never feel like I'm coming to the end of it, because it's always going to be the beginning of what I got, you know?
Yeah. You left and you went to Indio, California to knock out Reggie Pena, and you came back home again. Second card scheduled in Alabama now. How many fans came out to see you at the second fight in Alabama?
Second fight in Alabama, so I think where it was. That was the Shelton. We did the amphitheater. Yeah, that was the amphitheater. That was against the Damon Reed guy.
Yeah, that was. Let me see. Do you remember who you fought that night?
Damon Reed.
Yep. And that guy went the distance with James Toney. How'd that feel to get rid of him and knock him out?
It felt great, man. Because he was, even in the, you know, he had a nice record. He was like 46 and 10, something like that. He had a good, decent, great record.
Yeah, decent fighter.
And the main thing he boasts about is this kid. You know, he kept calling me kid. You know, this kid he hadn't been in there with all the great champions I'd have been in there with. He hasn't gone all the rounds I'd have gone. And keep in mind, he was still fresh from fighting Tony. You know, that was like a month away. He just fought Tony and Tony and went all the rounds with him. So he brought that up. He brought that situation up. I'd have just been in there with James Toney and went all the rounds with him and stuff like that. So you know, just to get rid of him, it was great. You know, because I tell these guys, man, you haven't fought Deontay Wilder. I don't care who you done fought in the world. You can fought all the champions. You can fought all the champions that the division got to offer, but you ain't fought Deontay Wilder. That's what I told him. I'm like, you ain't gonna feel no power. I always thought you ain't gonna feel nobody hit you harder than I'm gonna hit you. He just boasts. So, you know, and then keep in mind, you boasting and I'm at home. I'm at home, man. This is my people's. You know, you think I'm gonna come in here and let you upset this? But you know, man, that night, and then I had so much going for me, you know, because I was in that tornado as well too, man. You talking about you coming to my city to get rid of me, talking about all the people you experienced, but man, my city just went through a tragic moment. All these people in this audience, man, all had to scrap up money just to come to this show. You know, it's still mixed feelings in the air. You know, these my people, they came to show up to see me fight, and you think I'm finna let you beat me? I'm finna die tonight, you know, and that's how I was feeling, you know, and so the fight was over before he even think it was gonna be over with. Because I had so much going against me. I had so much going for me. You know, it wasn't no way in the world he could win.
Tell me about how you were affected by that tornado. How many people did you know that lost their homes personally?
I knew a couple of them. I had some family members that was involved in it. Had some family members that was living in apartments, and one of my cousins, he was asleep, and he woke up with bricks all over him, and he had to be taken to the hospital.
Wow.
I knew a couple of females that lived in the area that their babies was taken away from them. I was hearing all the stories, but you can hear kids, but you couldn't find them. And all of a sudden, as the time went on, all of a sudden it just became silent. You know, and my cousin called me immediately. He walking down the neighborhood. He seen that for kids in the road because I mean, a lot of kids in the road because it was in a little project area where, you know, we get warnings all the time. Oh, it's gonna be a ton of this and this, but it never just really happened.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, I think that they took advantage of it because some of the kids were still outside playing and stuff like that in different areas, especially in the rural areas. They were still out playing because they say tornado this and all the time, but they never have it. But this specific time, man, they weren't lying this time. When it came, that tornado came, and it jumped 4 or 5 different times, different areas.
Wow.
It is, and my cousin said, man, he about to throw up because all he sees is little kids, little babies laying in the road, little kids from the ages 5 and under. You know,
terrible.
And around. Yeah, man, it was horrible, man. It was great.
Man.
It was great.
So how's the city recovering now?
Oh, it's great, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, it's still got a lot to do,
Mm-hmm.
and they still to this day they finding body parts.
Oh man.
On buildings and you know out of all that time, you know, but the building is the city is definitely being rebuilt. They done a great job of it, and it's looking even beautiful than it ever did before. And they still got a long way to go. Still looking at maybe years and a half for the city to really be put back to like it used to be. But they're doing a great job, and they're going in good speed. And everybody, you know, they don't take it in. You know, sometimes you got to go through things to understand. You know, don't take that for granted because now. It can be as simple as the weatherman saying rain coming. You know, everybody's on it. You know, they make sure they keep up with it. When they say something about tornadoes, people jump on it. They don't take it for granted no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
And I think it just made it better. You know, a lot of people during that time, man. My city really, I love Tuscaloosa because you know, everybody. It's a big supportive town. If you're doing something positive, they gonna support you. No matter if you're white, if you're black. Whatever you Hispanic, they gonna support you.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So when that tornado came, you know, everybody was helping each other out, man. Everybody was coming. You know, you didn't have to be a family member. You know, you looking like you need water, you need food. People was cooking. Those that had light, that people stayed in their homes. You know what I mean? It was beautiful. You know, and everybody just came to this is one thing about it, man. When you know, you can go, like I said before, you can always go anywhere. You can hear what you want to hear about Alabama, this and this. But my state, you know, when it's time for people to come together, forget all the racism stuff that people hear. When it's time to come together, they come together.
Mm.
That's what I can say. I can truly say that. You know, they come together, man.
Yeah.
All that stuff you put aside, what you feel about people, no, they put it aside.
Yeah.
And they come together and help you out.
That's good. Community. Important.
That's right.
And a couple wins later, you already talked about the Dave Long knockout. It was brutal. That was on the undercard of Adrian Broner and Vicente Martin Rodriguez. What do you think of Adrian Broner? Do you know him well?
I encountered with him a few times. I done fought in Cincinnati maybe 4 or 5 times. So,
mm-hmm.
So over the years, I have grown to get to know him, and Adrian is a hard worker, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people don't know how hard he works in the gym. Adrian a beast, and he works hard. So everything that has changed. Hold on 1 minute now.
Okay.
Yeah. So he works hard in the gym. You know, so everything that is coming his way, man, he deserves it. You know,
Yep.
He's a hard worker. You know, you know, in his personal life, I don't know how he is, but as far as when it comes to boxing and being in the gym and stuff like that, man, he definitely pays his dues. And you know, I feel he's a great fighter. That you know, that if he continues to surround himself by the right people, because you know, when you're on top, everybody want to be around you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to come out the woodworks. And I feel like if he don't flood his mind with trying to worry about who thinks what about him, or who feel like they deserve to be around him, or you know this and that. If you keep the circle small, he's gonna he'll be on top. for a long time. You know, and you keep that work ethic as well too.
Yeah.
So, I like Adrian.
Yeah. You gotta admire his skill. What? You're a caring guy, as far as I can tell by talking to you for this amount of time. I could tell that you care about people and stuff. When you did hit Dave Long and you knocked him out so brutally, did you get a little nervous for him?
You know, Chris. Every time I fight, I always say a team prayer. My team always come together. That team prayer. But I also say a personal prayer as well. Every fight, I always say a personal prayer, and basically what I tell God that you know, to protect both of us as fighters, that I never want to hurt a man so bad where he can't go and he can't go the next day to support his family or be able to function where he can't support his family and stuff like that. I never want to take that away from a man. A man, especially a good man that supports his kids and be there for them. You know, I'm big on kids, so I never want to be the type of fighter that takes that away where he can. You know, because you never know who you're fighting. They may be the only source of food that's coming in the house, and here you go, you didn't win and knocked man out, and I can't do that no more. So they're kind of like a burden on you. Whatever. So you know, so when that happened, I really didn't know how bad it was until later on they told us or whatever. So you know, I didn't know nothing about the legs shaking and he didn't know what was going on and on the mom's going crying. I didn't know that until maybe a week after the fight. So you know, I was glad that he was doing okay and stuff like that. So, but I always make that prayer to every fight I fight.
Yeah, that's a stand-up guy, you know. And you talked about how you went to Cancun and you beat Jesse Altmans, and Roy Jones praised you there and was there to see you too. But you returned home to Alabama and you beat up Owen What the Heck Beck. You experienced guy, but lately experience was terrible. You gave him another bad night in his office, didn't you? Owen Beck. What do you remember about
Owen
that fight?
Beck.
What do you remember?
Owen Beck's a tough guy, man. Owen Beck don't get enough credit that he deserves. Owen Beck is a tough guy. I haven't seen Owen Beck in many wars.
Yeah.
He got hit by great shots, and he kept coming. They kept coming. So, you know, right then and there, you know, I knew he was coming to fight. Owen, when he comes to fight. Now, he ain't gonna back down with it. I mean, all that he can take, he gonna take it and keep coming. And years and years ago, I got an opportunity to spar Owen before, and you know, we didn't show each other too much. Now, when I go to different places to spar different guys, you know, I show them just enough. I don't show them everything I have because there's a slight possibility that you may have to fight that person. But some trainers won't. You know, some trainers, depend on what heavyweight it is, won't even let two heavyweight spar just because of that reason. Or them may thinking that, you know, they may fight one day. Nah, I don't want them to spar. But you know, going to the fight, you know, Owen was just a great person outside the ring, but when they get inside the ring, that's with anybody that steps in the ring. It's just business. It's a part of the business, and again, you're in my hometown, so you know, I'm coming to destroy you just as much as you coming to destroy me. You know, he took the fight because he felt like that I was a person that can bring him back to the top, that can get his name back out there once more. He felt like that it was more that he can offer to the world of boxing, and he wanted to use me as a stepping stone to show the world, you know, I just beat the bronze medalist. I just beat Deontay Wilder, so I'm back on scene, you know, so who's next? And I was feeling the same way too. I was like, yo, this is Owen Beck. Owen have been in there with some of everybody.
Yeah.
You know, just got finished fighting one of the Russian champions. You know, and shoot, Owen been in, so it was like that was man's way just got finished fighting the Russian champion. But Owen been out with a 7-foot Russian guy with former champion Vitaly or whatever his name is. Owen fought all of them.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was an honor to fight him. You know, but just just again, I was determined to win and come on top, man. And you know, even though Owen took the fight, I respected him then, because many guys, you know, they can boast about, oh, they fought this or they on top right here, but reality, those guys don't want to fight me. They don't want to fight, because everybody know you risk when you get in the ring with me. You risk it. You risk it. It's a 50-50. You may win or you may get knocked out. You ain't gonna lose. You gonna get knocked out. So it's a possibility. And a lot of guys respond. A lot of guys don't want to talk good. You know, they'll say, oh, I'm in the top this, I'm ranked, and you this and this, but they ain't gonna get in that ring. They won't do that.
No.
So you know, I respected Owen for that. He like, look, I'm coming. He told me I'm coming to try to destroy you. You know, I'm coming. I'm trying to build my name back up, and you know, and I want to fight. So I respect him for that, man. Anybody, even though he left with I broke a bone in his face. I just ligament in his eye. That's what only with the jab. I knocked him down with my jab. You know, that's just only with a jab. But he came to fight though, and nobody can take that away from him.
Yeah. And you were supposed to fight 13-0 Kelvin Davis in your next fight. You stayed home again to fight. You were supposed to fight Kelvin Davis at home, but Kelvin got injured, and Kurtz and Manswell.
My real Terry Price.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
That's Kevin.
Kelvin Davis was 13-0, right?
The area, man, the signal is crazy.
No, sorry. It's raining like crazy here where I am, so might be my phone too. Who knows?
But you talking about the Kevin, my real Terry Price, right?
Say it again.
I said you talking about the next. You said Kevin Price, right?
Kelvin Davis. You were supposed to fight Kelvin Davis? Is that what you were supposed to fight?
His name Price. Kevin Price.
Kevin Price. That's the same guy you're sparring with now, right?
No. I'm sparring with Audley Harrison.
Oh, okay, Audley Harrison. And tell me about what happened with Kevin Price. What happened with that fight?
Well, we call him Kevin, my real Terry Price now. That's what I call him, because he said that leading on up into closing in on the fight, that he injured, he hurt his ribs, he bruised his ribs or whatever, and I don't. If so, I just put it like this, man. So stuff happens. Stuff happens, but I felt like, honestly, Kevin got scared. I felt, he was telling Luke Bella that he's ready for big fights, that he's ready for a fight, he want to fight. So Luke took it personally upon himself to get him a big fight, and I was the draw out of the hat. And Kevin know me. He know how I work. He know how I do. He know I got nice power. We was in the same camp with David Hay. And he see how well I managed to handle myself with David as well too. My speed and everything else that came with me. So he knew, man. That I think that just took him to the left field. I didn't think, I don't think he was really ready for me. So what to do? What to do? I feel like it's only reason I feel like it was a fake injury because we had somebody out of his camp to come and notify us that we think we should. Just by the way, I think I should know that this is what happened. You know what I mean? Then their trainer, Roy Senior, pulled the card because he didn't feel like he was ready either. Man. So that's coming out of their camp. What was told to us.
Wow.
So I don't know how true it is, but the fight didn't happen.
And Kurtz and Manswell stepped in. The fight was still aired on Fox, though. Like I said, this was the first fight from Alabama that was nationally televised, so you're becoming like a whole franchise to the state. Do you realize that? You do, I guess.
Oh yeah, almost definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I know some of the biggest people in the state of Alabama. Which is good because I feel like if you surround yourself by people you want your life to be like, everybody want to be comfortable with money. I don't desire to be rich, but I desire to be comfortable where if I purchase something, if I have something, that I won't be hurt in the end result of it, or I want to live my life to, not be afraid to have to spin or do this and that. And I know a lot of great, just from just who I am and boxing over the time period of boxing, man. I have met a lot of big people in the state of Alabama, which we have Jack Warner, which is is the top 10 richest man in the world. Which lives in Alabama as well too. I talks it up with him as well, just to learn different things from a lot of wealthy people that have been successful, and I can also call my friend as well too,
Hope it rubs off on you.
So the state loves me, and I couldn't ask for a better place to be. I had many people try to take me out of Alabama, but I feel like I made it there, and I'm still doing it there now. And hey, why leave?
Yeah.
Go train somewhere else when I can train here. Let them come to me.
Totally right. Yeah.
I'm beating everybody else in the states they wanted me. I'm beating all them guys. So why would I come there?
Yeah. Yeah. And you fought that fight. You weighed 228, 229, right? That was 11 pounds more than in your last fight just 2 months earlier. How'd you feel in there? Did you feel? I guess you felt good because it was kind of quick, right? Felt good with that weight?
Yeah, I felt real good. We always wanted to gain the weight to keep the speed.
Mm-hmm.
But we never just tried to gain weight all at once because we wanted to keep our speed with it. So that's another game plan we wanted to come with. And while the weight is coming on me now, I'm keeping my speed. I'm keeping everything about me, and I'm keeping it good, So we gaining the weight and keeping the speed at the same time.
Do you use a strength and conditioning coach?
I do. I got one of the best strength and coaches in the world renowned Peter Corey.
Peter Corey.
He's Peter Corey.
Yep. I heard of him. Heard his name before.
Yeah, he trained a lot of different athletes, professional athletes, and when me and Peter got together, man, and we learned each other. We got the chemistry, and Peter, my work ethic, man, is sick. I'm a beast when it comes to working. If nothing don't, harms my body or my body don't start aching or something like that, too bad. We always, he always have told me, if there's something wrong with your body, if it ain't feeling normal, don't push, don't put pressure on it, don't push it to go because, in the end, you can probably harm it even worse than what it is. And, I'm a type of person that if I'm feeling pain, sometimes I'll fight through it if that I can. But I learned a lot over Peter, and he told me, he said, all the athletes I done worked with, I've never seen somebody such intense as you, so dedicated, so motivated, and the will to just get it, man. And, we are, and he did with a lot of professional athletes, man, as far as football, basketball, all over.
Mm-hmm.
And, I felt like that was a pleasure for him to say that to me.
Oh, yeah.
And, Peter type of person to keep it real with you. He, old man. I mean, he maybe in his 40s. In his 40s, something like that. But he keeps it real with you. He ain't getting paid to lie for you.
Yeah.
I mean, so we works good, man.
I asked you about the strength and conditioning coach because some people are every time something happens where like Andre Ward and Chad Dawson's fight, Chad Dawson used his strength and conditioning coach to get down to 168, and he looked dead at the weight. So it kind of sparked up another round of controversy, and a lot of trainers are against strength and conditioning coaches, but you like it, huh? You use yours. I guess they're all different. You're in favor of strength and conditioning coaches, I would think.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I like it myself, man. I feel like if you get the right one the first time, man, you won't have to go through all that switching up. That's with trainers as well too. Like anybody I meet, man, I build a bond with them. I kind of, we get to the point where almost as if you're family, and everybody be real with everybody. I'm the type of person that I don't really hold my tongue. So if I'm feeling a way about you and I want to express myself, I speak my piece, and I welcome you to do the same with me because I want you to be real with me as well. And by us going by that, man, my team been great, man. Been great. Like I said, I got a small circle, and I like it that way, and I'm gonna keep it that way. I feel like if you ain't with me during the success, you ain't gonna be with me in the end of the, of the success. So, ain't no need. You get a lot of people just try to jump on board. You know, some mean good, some mean not. But the people I surround myself with, man, it's great people got. We added a couple more people. We had I won't say a couple. We had a other guy, you know what I mean, which is a great guy. You know what I mean? So I got Russ Ambers on too, and you know, we keeping it real.
What'd you think of the Andre Ward Chad Dawson fight?
I think Andre he did what I said he was gonna do.
You knew it was gonna be that easy?
I knew it was gonna be a unanimous decision. I said that too. I said it was gonna be. I said Andre gonna win, unanimous decision. And which I didn't look at. You know, the thing that you know, the thing that shocked me is that Dawson gave up. Mm-hmm. You know, I wasn't looking for that.
Yeah.
I knew I was looking for a unanimous decision. I was looking for him. I was looking for Andre to just dominate him. Mm-hmm. You know, Andre worked hard, man.
He's awesome.
Man, he done been through a lot, man. He done been through a lot of criticism. You know, he done been through a lot of, you know, people, you know, saying this and that, man. He done been through some good, you know, good criticism. He done had a good, you know, supportive group as well too.
Yeah.
So, you know, he works hard, man, and he deserves everything. I hope he be champion for years and years on when my kids grow up, man.
Yeah.
I want him to be champion because he's a positive role model. He's a positive guy.
Yeah.
So, and I talk highly about him.
Yeah. Can't say enough good about Andre Ward. Totally dedicated guy. After beating Manswell, you declared yourself ready for anybody in the ring after. Do you still feel that way? Even when you calm down?
Yeah,
ready for anybody?
Definitely. I'm ready for whoever, whenever, you know. I want them all. You know, I want them all. Whoever's standing in my way got to go.
Come on.
I'm very confident in my skill. Very confident in the ability that in the attributes that I bring to the sport of boxing. Mm-hmm. And we should be fighting maybe in November, first week of November, and even a possibility December against Michael Grant. So they're still trying to put a lot of stuff together. But from this point on, even my last fight, I just fought September 8th in California, and even Bernard Hopkins, he was like saying, "You ready, man? It's definitely time," because he wanted to come and see what, you know, because he ain't seen me fight yet. You know, Oscar done seen me fight a couple of times, and he always tweeting about me. He's excited about me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Bernard wanted to come and witness himself, and you know, even though it wasn't the best of opponent to come and see, he just seen the skills that I had in the ring, the things I was able to do, and the things that I did. My judgment and how calm it was. He already knew. I mean, he's been fighting for years, so he'll definitely know what he's looking at.
Yeah,
he came in the back room, man. We chopped it up good. Like, "You ready, man? You ready?" He said, "I've been fed a lot of guys like that too. People criticize me and stuff, but he said, 'You ready?'"
That's
he
awesome,
said, "Just keep training, man. It's time." So, you know, it's time.
You're talking about after you beat Damon McCrary. You just fought him in Costa Mesa, California, and
yeah.
And how's it feel to be approached by Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins, these guys you grew up with, and they're interested in signing you and stuff? What's that feel like?
Man, this just made me see that I got to be doing something right. You know,
yeah.
It took a while. It took a while for them to come around, or whatever. You know, just dealing with so many fighters and trying to get that eye spot at this fighter. But now my name has been brought up around the world.
Yeah, recently on HBO, Max Kellerman included you in a list of best American heavyweights in the sport. It was Seth Mitchell, Chris Arreola, Bryant Jennings, and you. Yeah. How'd that feel to see Max?
Well, I seen that, and there was Merchant was talking.
Mm-hmm. That was Max Kellerman's list.
Yeah, yeah. He stated that, you know, I've been having weak, low opposition, but if you tally up all my opponents with their wins versus their losses, I come out unanimous against all those guys. Except Chris Arreola. Yeah. And that's only by a small margin.
Yep.
You know, so people can say what they want. Everybody's just jealous and
haters.
That people just saying that I'm knocking everybody out. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just knocking everybody out. You know, if I was 25, if I was 50, you know, if I was 25 with 11 knockouts, you know, 25 with 11 knockouts, nobody would say that.
Yeah.
You know, just putting back, I'm knocking everybody out. Oh, I gotta be fighting, you know, low opposition, and you know, all this and that. You know, I'm you know, do you put me the same way I did those, the low opposition you think, I'm gonna do them the same way. But they don't say something, and it still be something to say then.
Yeah, what's amazing is you and Seth Mitchell and Brian Jennings are all ex-football players. Now you're rising to the top of the heavyweight division. It's pretty cool. What with so much attention paid to you lately, though, and the expectations are building for some of the other guys, they're eager to see you step up your level of competition. So they're gonna criticize you until you do what they want you to do. How you feeling about things, though, the way they're going? How do you feel right now? You feel like you're ready? When do you think we'll see you in the ring with someone in the top 15 or 20?
Maybe November. Maybe we're looking at Joe Hanks. November, and December they talking about Michael Grant. This is you know, don't quote me on it, but this is what we got going. Just bam bam, just like that. You know, so it's 3 shows that's about to occur at the end of the month, and I know we're not gonna get on all 3, but it's a possibility we can be on 2. One at the top of November, which would definitely give me. It's all good. One is like at the first week of November, and then it's one in December, like at the end of December. So that would be perfect. You know, margin of fighting, which is they got the WBC convention in Cancun, which they really want me to be there. So it's a possibility that they're trying to set up Michael Grant for that.
That'd be awesome.
At the end of this year, you definitely seeing me with somebody.
Yeah.
But you know, seeing me with the name that everybody knows. You know, because people, you know, it's people weird though. You know, some people see a guy, you know, thinking they're good because they got a great record. Some people just want to see a house and home name. You know, everybody get their different likings of who he the fought this and then some people may know the person you fought that don't have a great record but know he can fight. You know, so yeah, you get your mixture or whatever, but we should get a household name surely at the end of this year, and people will definitely see. Say and everybody else say I'm the next heavyweight champion of the world, man. This is just a different level up in the ring with me. You know, I see so much. I'm just like LeBron on the basketball court. Like I see things before it even happen. I see if I do this high to the ball, look out, man. Like my whole mind frame in that ring and the things that I see in the ring is crazy. I can't explain it. Yeah. I never throw my right hand off of just thinking about throwing it. Automatically throw itself when you give me a look. And it's dangerous, man. That's crazy because you give me one certain look, my hands automatically throwing. And when I hit you, if I get you clean, it can be the end. It can be a good a night.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it can definitely be, and you know, and being a fighter that I don't know the measurement of my power, that's scary. Yeah. It's scary for me. You know, I'm like, damn, if I'm hitting that hard, I'm hitting the guys that hard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know the strength of my power. You know, I don't really know. So, like, all I can see is and people can say, oh, low oppositions, he was nobody, he didn't fall. But the fact is, these are human bodies. These are human beings, yo. In the heavyweight division, if they hit me, I can drop too, just like I'm dropping them. So you can't determine off a record or you know what I mean, and get hit. A lot of the top guys that fought low opposition and went all rounds with them. Why they didn't get them out? So when I fight them and knock them out, why is this a problem?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm that good, you know. I'm like Roy Jones. It ain't that they ain't good. It's just I make them look that way.
Yeah.
But soon we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. And all the hard work is put in the gym, and you're sparring with Audley Harrison, and you sparred with David Hay before. Who else did you spar with?
Spar with David Hay. Spar with currently with Audley Harrison right now. Spar with Mike Perez. I've been in with Thomas Adamek.
Great fighter. How'd you do with Thomas?
What's up?
How'd you do with Thomas Adamek?
Oh yeah, I did. I did great with Adamek. You know, I did so great that they wanted to train me. They wanted me to come on board. You know, Eddie it's a whole. He got a great work ethic.
Yeah, you surprised.
Eddie definitely got a great work ethic. And, you know, I definitely help everybody I just spar with. I done helped my own, man. I done definitely made. It's never been no camp I haven't been to that haven't said I am the next heavyweight champion of the world. So I'll let you be the judge. You know, every camp I done been to, they just said that.
Yeah.
So I got it when I'm going in camp. I got to hold as my own. You know, and I have done that. So you know, give me confidence builders as well. My first confidence builder is when I sparred David Hay. You know, felt like he was one of the fastest heavyweight in the division at the time, and I'm like, if I can hold my own with him, man, then can't nobody stop me. You know, he got nice speed, got nice power, and he's only thing about him, he's too cautious in the ring. He's too cautious. He hesitates too much to let off. But when he do let off, you know, it's a good little combination if he does. And I feel like if I can match up with him, I knew I had more power. I know I got more power just with my long range and how far mine's coming back, and my speed was if not the same, faster. I definitely opened their eyes. I was like, you know, I broke their eyes with that.
Wow.
And I helped. So that was a confidence builder for me, and that's all I needed. You know, when I figured it, when I saw that, when I left London, I was a happy man because I was like, oh, it's over. You know, ain't nobody. I done just been in there with, you know, and a former champ. You know, so it's just been in my eyes, one of the fastest heavyweights. You know. And I definitely showed up and showed out, so ain't nobody else gonna be able to handle me.
That's right.
So I like to give, you know, David and his team, you know, Adam Booth and all those guys, a stick up, shout out for that right there, because I needed that for my career, and I'll forever say that for them. You know what I mean? So that was a great opportunity for me.
And it has nothing to do with you. You're happy with Golden Boy, I'm sure, right now. And what do you think of the whole TMT situation?
You know, no comment.
What do you do after a win? Do you have a daughter? You have a wife? You married? Yeah,
I got 2 daughters. Yeah, and I'm currently married.
What's it like dealing with a daughter with spinal bifida? What is spinal bifida exactly for people who don't know?
Spinal bifida is really a disorder that kids are born with holes in their spine. And most kids with this disorder are born paralyzed from the waist down and in wheelchairs. The doctor said that my little girl, she would never be able to walk and have a natural childhood ability of learning. But I tell people all the time, no matter the doctor say or what he went to school for, there's a higher power than him, and if it ain't to be for you, then it ain't gonna happen. And you know, I keep saying God is good because He is. He did remarkable things throughout my life and still is now. And not only is my little girl walking, she's running, she's flipping, you know, and she's one of the smartest little girls in her class. So, you know, and she's the reason why I got into this. But if it wasn't for her, it wouldn't be no Deontay Wilder as far as boxing is concerned. So I still give her credit for that as well too, because I wouldn't be looking for another source of living if it weren't for her, you know. So.
And you're getting more and more fans, and you're on the verge of making a big move somewhere soon. Your fans are multiplying. Are you on Twitter? How could your fans get a hold of you?
Definitely. Oh yeah, I'm definitely on Twitter. You can get a hold of me if you want to have a great conversation. No matter what, you know, if you're a hater as well too, I bang those out as well too. If anybody knows me, will tell you that Deontay responds back to his fans. You can get back at me at Bronze Bomber.
Bronze Bomber. Did you have a Twitter war yet?
All the time. All the time, man. All the time, man. And all the time, man. Because I got a brand called Bomb Squad. That's my team. You know, so we always shouting out Bomb Squad, and I got some Bomb Squad peoples on there with me that are, you know, not only I'm gonna get at you, but my squad gonna get at you as well too. And all the time, you know, I state facts. You know, I don't like people to come to me and what they heard, you know what I mean, or what they You know, sometimes even with the red, sometimes, you know, because some stuff just ain't true. And, you know, people just, when you come to me about stats and stuff, make sure you to cut it down, this man's stuff and my man's, to add this stuff up before you come to me, because you'll be surprised. You know, like I said before, people are, oh, this fighter, he default this fighter. Man, do the stats, do your research first, and tell you. I mean, some of these guys that they default, I done tried to fight, but got turned down. You know, so make sure you know your history before you come at me. And all the time, I'm always killing people. So at the end of the day, they always come around. Man, you know, we just know that you're very talented. You got the potential, and we know you're going to be the heavyweight champion of the world. We're just ready for you to do that. You know, they always come around. It'll always be funny. But I enjoy, you know, I enjoy my fans, and I enjoy some of them may not even be my fans, just want to come and comment. You know, I enjoy those as well too, the haters. But too, we get it on pretty good. You know, at the end of the day, everybody come around, man. You know, because on Twitter, I'm a guy that like to have fun, no laid back, and it's all about having fun. You know, I don't take nothing to heart, no jokes. I can take a joke. Many people on Twitter have said that before. I like Wilder. You know, even though they weren't against me, they wasn't with me when they first came on Twitter. It came on my page. But at the end of the day, conversating with me, getting to really just know my personality, they have came for me, you know. So, and, you know, this is the type of person I am, and the truth shall be revealed sooner or later, though, you know. And so, yeah, it's good, though. I have many wars. I done called out many fighters, some of the top fighters in the division, you know. And, you know, we didn't most of the fighters don't want to. You know, when you call them out, they be surprised. You know, some of them don't want to talk. Some of them, you know, they want this much. Like you know, all the American guys, you know, I done called out. You know, everybody always talk about me and Eddie or whatever. Eddie always talk about money. You know, for the right price, you know, we'll fight. Anybody will fight and stuff like that. You know, I'm like, what's for the glory and the pride of the sport? You know, I done called out Ariola, the Robert Hernandez, you know, and it's still to this day that everybody want me and Tyson Fury. You know, Englishman and David Price. Englishman, I think my name has both our names as far as U.S. for him in the U.S. and for me in the U.K. because I done had a lot of U.K. reporters. You know, I done did a lot of interviews with them as I'm doing with you. And on the internet, I've done a lot of blogs, and they didn't put that out there. And my name has definitely been thrown around in the UK, you know, in the newspapers and everything, man. People tell me your name. I saw your name in the paper today, man. Your name is really flown around the city. And I'm like, wow, you know, so that's just making me even bigger, you know.
That's awesome, man.
Just like with the Brian Jennings thing, when they called us, 4 of us out, and my dude, you know, they was on Instagram, and one of my dudes came to me and said, man, they talking. Out of all the 4, they want to pick me out. Why everybody want to pick me? You know, out of the 4, they wanted to pick me out. He had him and 2 other dudes talking about me, saying Jennings went on the stage. You know, somebody asked him who he think is the best out of the 4. He went on the quote that I'm not even gonna say who the best or whatever. And you know, trying to be cocky and like, you know, you already know I'm the best. You know what I mean? But they went on and then he went on the stage. You know, that he think that my record has been padded and all this and this, and some of the other guys that's you know, gets on with him or whatever. Like, yeah, he, you know, you can't learn from having a padded record, this and that. So my dude put me on, so I came doing me. I ain't gonna hold my tongue back. So I came on and surprised him. I made sure I directed it to every last one of them was talking. One guy didn't respond back because I'm sure he was shocked. The other guy was like, well, man, you know, I'm not saying that you're not a good fighter. I think you're a great fighter and stuff like this. And, you know, you just need to, we just ready for you to step it up or whatever. Jennings, dude, you know, I told him if he sent me the contract, I'll make sure I hand your ass in your hands or whatever. And, dude, and I put facts on him. He just fought a guy named Chris Caval. Chris Caval, I supposed to fought Chris Caval in St. Louis. I supposed to fought Chris Caval in St. Louis, and but the commission stopped that. The commission said that Deontay Wilder would kill Chris Caval. It'll be a massacre. So they wouldn't allow me to fight Chris Cabral.
Mm-hmm.
So now Brian Jennings fighting Chris Cabral. Oh, you know, this is this big wonderful thing. Oh, this is a great match. Chris Cabral is a hard-hitting fighter. He this and this. And my whole team, man, my manager looking at you like, what the hell? They wouldn't even let me fight him, but he, you know, everybody, you know, he's just coming. He's becoming a name or whatever, but he can fight him, and it's all good. So I stand that to him. I like just facts. You know what I mean? Don't boast about too much, dog, because some of the fighters you done fought out. You know, I tried to fight, and they wouldn't even let me fight them, but they'll let you fight them because they don't see you as no threat. You know what I mean? So just little facts I put up on them. When I come around, you know, all the way, we, I don't want to fight, you know, even if which I won't, you know what I mean? He said, you know, I know how to reach him on Twitter, which he don't respond on Twitter anyway, so I'll be wasting my time. So like when you say stuff like that, I know they don't want to conversate about that.
No.
These dudes scared, so.
Yeah, you never know. It might happen one day though. Browns bomber.
I'll be glad to. I'll be glad to fight him. All the eliminated four. Only person that probably be a problem with fighting would be Seth Mitchell because we with the same promotion, and and Golden Boy. Y'all don't see Golden Boy putting two people together. Even their managers even said it because he told Sharif. He told him many people said, "Why you don't fight Deontay Wilder?" And Sharif told him we're with the same team, and it's like we're brothers or whatever with the same team. And I don't think Golden Boy has ever put two Golden Boy fighters together, not in my knowledge.
I don't think so either.
On the way to do that is we both have belts and we're trying to unify all the belts. That's be the only way. But anybody, all the other ones, Chris, I've been conversating with Chris many times. He didn't want to fight. You know, he punked out. You know, and Brian Jennings, you know, if he wanted, he can get it. I want to show him something too. You know what I mean? That's easy. That's easy.
With power like you got, though, I don't think there'll be too many people rushing to get in the ring with you.
Nah, cause that's what it is. They, you know, they see the record. I don't care what they can say padded, they can say low opposition. But when you putting your fighter up in there, he thinking in his mind, this dude did not everybody out. He didn't been in front of. This dude got it because everybody hear about my power. It's just like Mike Tyson. Everybody heard about his power. They heard this and that. So he didn't already want to fight before he got in because mentally they didn't already lost mentally, knowing that if they get caught, it's over. But it'd be the same with these fighters. They know what the deal is because if I hit you, you either gonna get stunned, you gonna go down. It's gonna be 1 to 2. You ain't, you know. And if you take it, best believe I got another one that's coming. And see, can you take this? And keep in mind that your head is not meant to be hitting, so you can only take so many blows to the head.
The man who knocks everybody out, the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder, fighter, great dad, great dude. Thanks for taking time, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chris, man. Anytime, man. Anytime.